Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So, can this spray bottle really achieve the results of one of these? Well, I tested it out and the answer might surprise you. So in order to test if this is actually gonna work, well, I've gone ahead and made a few coasters here. These are made from mahogany and walnut. I essentially made a small piece of plywood and I made these. You'll see that process here in a second. And I've got a bunch of videos where I use this on some furniture and it works unbelievably well. This is tried and true. There's no reason for me to use it in this video, but we are going to put some water-based polyurethane in this and we're gonna spray down some of these coasters and the results are gonna absolutely shock you. It's pretty crazy. Let's go. So I've got some walnut and some mahogany veneers that I cut off camera. And to prepare this, I'm gonna need, well, I need some wood. Okay, enough shenanigans. Here are the walnut and mahogany veneers. I'm taking some of that said glue, and we're gonna go ahead and layer it down. And I like spreading glue with a, a notched trowel, essentially, that I made out of a scraper. I just went to the bandsaw and cut some kerfs in it. You're gonna see here this process goes pretty quickly. And the reason I'm using Titebond 3, well, hey, it's supposed to be better for watered applications if the material is gonna get wet, and these are gonna be coasters, so why not? So I'm using those cauls I cut in the very beginning. We're gonna put some packing tape on them. We're gonna use these to clamp these in place. But first, got a little visitor. You like the shop? It's all different now. Look at it. I moved things around and installed some new lights. So, you know. But what? Don't look at the lights. They're super bright. Hey. Cutie. All right, back to work. We had to talk about that, and I think she understands now that that is a no-go. Do not look at those bright lights. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and use those cauls that I cut in the beginning. We're gonna clamp these pieces of wood together, essentially making our own plywood. I did orient the grain differently with the different species of wood, so I think we're gonna be okay. Once this comes out, I realize, well, I gotta trim this thing off a little bit. So we're gonna use the first iteration of a jig that I made where you can joint boards on the table saw. Here it is. We're gonna clamp it down and go ahead and cut it off, get it nice and flush, and then put that flush edge up against the table saw fence and go ahead and get everything nice and square. You can see here, this, well, yeah, that essentially is layering up wood, making your own really expensive plywood, although plywood prices at this time are pretty expensive. I saw plywood exterior grade 3/4 inch for $100 the other day. Pretty crazy as we are in the middle of the year in 2021. So what I'm gonna do is to create an effect of where these layers are gonna look a little wider than they actually are. We're gonna cut this down at an angle on the bandsaw. I then set my fence to about 3/8 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 inch or so. And we're gonna run this piece of wood through each time making a cut. You can see here we got a variety of different shapes and it looks pretty interesting. After I sand them down here on the drum sander, I'm gonna take them to the table saw and cut them to 2 different lengths. So here they are after sanding, but the angle we used was so steep that we're gonna have to trim off some of the edges. One, these are really long, they don't quite look that great, but they also have a sharp edge that we have to tend with. So we're gonna do that here on the crosscut sled. These coasters are gonna be a little oblong in shape, but again, I'm gonna set a stop block and make sure that I have a set that's gonna be exactly square. You can see me cutting those here. A little hand sanding now, wipe them down. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of finish these small parts. Well, I have this idea to take 2 lines on a piece of scrap plywood and then kind of make a grid, fire a nail through that grid, and yep, those stick up where each of them are held in place. Now it's time for why you're here. Let's go ahead and test this out. Well, I had a defective nozzle on that one, so I had to transfer bottles. And even this white nozzle you see me install didn't work that great, but the yellow one there that comes with it, that worked the best. And here we go. I'm gonna make glancing passes and I set the nozzle up to where it is a pretty fine mist. A little tweaking and you can do it, no problem. It's kind of hard to see on camera here, but I'll show you the results of when they're drying. I put them up by the sunlight and here they are drying. Look how glossy this is. Looks so great. And then when I hold them up to the window, I cannot believe this is 2 coats of finish an hour apart, and that's it. This product went on there so smooth. And I'm so glad I tested this out. Beautiful. So you can see here in the before and after the finished shots, the colors just come right out. The mahogany, the walnut, so pretty. And my kids, my youngest ones, they go to school all year and they have a summer program right now. I figured this would be a good gift for their two teachers to give them at the end of the summer program too. So I want to know what you guys think of this process for sure. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? This worked so well. Now, there's a couple factors at play here on why it was able to work. The first one is I'm going to recommend this bottle. Not sponsored by this company, of course, but this bottle worked really well. Actually, it's the trigger that you need. This trigger, I think there's like $5 at Home Depot. It's the professional sprayer. It worked really well. But really, the thing that really made this work was this. This water-based marine-grade polyurethane by Total Boat, this Halcyon Clear. This stuff is, well, it's got a property that is very similar to resin in terms of it. Not only does it protect it and give you a nice shine, but it self-levels. And that was the success of this, and this is why it worked. So I've got everything linked down below. Every Total Boat product that I use in my videos is down there. Go check them out. You can save yourself some money with a coupon code too. But I had to try this process. This was not promoted or pitched to me by them. I did this on my own just to see if a superior product could work in an inferior method, and it does. I'm shocked. Absolutely shocked. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on my next one. Until then, take care and be safe. See you then.